I'm sitting here today, 2 years later, with a ring in my pocket and a smile I can't seem to wipe off my face, and I still can't believe this is my life. But let me take you back to where it all started, because this story, our story, it's not what you'd expect. It's messy and beautiful and absolutely worth every risk we took. My name is Jake, and I was 25 years old when I fell in love with my boss. Her name was Diana, and she was 56. 31 years separated us. 31 years that the world said mattered more than anything else. But here's what I learned. When you find real connection, when you find someone who sees you and accepts you completely, those numbers become meaningless. They're just noise in the background of something extraordinary. Let me tell you how it happened, because it wasn't some lightning bolt moment. It was slower than that, more dangerous, like drowning in the most beautiful way possible. I just moved to Seattle, trying to escape a life that felt too small, too predictable. I'd been in a relationship that ended badly, the kind where you realize you were settling because you didn't know anything better existed. I needed a fresh start, and when I landed a job at a boutique marketing firm downtown, it felt like maybe things were finally looking up. Diana was the senior vice president. She was the kind of woman who walked into a room and everything shifted, not because she demanded attention, but because she earned it. She had this quiet confidence, this way of speaking that made you want to lean in and really listen. She was brilliant at what she did, and everyone knew it. But here's what nobody else saw. The way her eyes would soften when she thought no one was looking. The way she'd laugh at herself when she made a mistake. The way she cared, really cared, about the people who worked for her. She wasn't just some executive climbing a ladder. She was real, and that's what got me. Our first real conversation happened about 3 weeks after I started. I was working late on a presentation, probably trying too hard to prove myself, and she walked by my desk around 9 at night. The office was nearly empty, just the two of us and the cleaning crew. "You know, the work will still be here tomorrow," she said, and I looked up to find her standing there with her bag over her shoulder, looking at me with something between amusement and concern. "Just want to get it right," I told her. She pulled up a chair. "Show me what you've got." We spent the next 2 hours going over my presentation, and it wasn't just her helping me. It was this amazing back and forth where she challenged my ideas and I challenged hers. And somewhere in that exchange, I forgot she was my boss. She was just Diana, this incredibly smart, funny, fascinating woman who made me think harder than I'd ever thought before. "You're good at this," she said finally, gathering her things. "Don't lose that hunger. But also don't forget to live your life outside these walls." Trust me, I learned that lesson the hard way. After that night, we started talking more. It began professionally, strategy sessions, her mentoring me through difficult clients, teaching me the subtle politics of office life. But gradually, our conversations stretched into personal territory. I learned she'd been divorced for 7 years, that she had 2 grown kids living their own lives across the country, that she loved hiking and old vinyl records, and had this incredible laugh that lit up her entire face. And I started falling, not all at once, but in these small moments that accumulated until I couldn't ignore it anymore. The way she'd remember tiny details I'd mentioned in passing. The way she'd defend her team fiercely but gently correct us when we needed it. The way she looked when she got excited about an idea, her whole face glowing with passion. But I kept it to myself. How could I not? She was my boss. She was 31 years older than me. The age gap alone would make people talk, let alone the professional complications. So I buried it, convinced it would fade. It didn't fade. It got stronger. 6 months in, we were at a client event. One of those upscale networking dinners where everyone's performing, playing their roles. Diana was in her element, charming clients, closing deals, and I found myself just watching her work, admiring everything about her. Not just her professional skill, but the grace with which she moved through the world. After the dinner, We shared a cab back to the office. It was raining, one of those heavy Pacific Northwest storms that makes the city look like it's underwater. We sat in comfortable silence for a while, watching the city lights blur through the rain-streaked windows. "Can I tell you something?" she said suddenly, and there was a vulnerability in her voice I'd never heard before. "Always." She turned to look at me, and in the dim light of the cab, I could see she was scared. "I've noticed the way you look at me sometimes, and I've been telling myself I'm imagining it, that it's just wishful thinking from a woman who should know better. But I need to know, Jake, am I imagining it?" My heart was pounding so hard I thought she might hear it. I could have denied it, should have denied it, but sitting there with rain drumming on the roof and her eyes searching mine, I couldn't lie anymore. "No," I said quietly, "you're not imagining it." She closed her eyes and took a shaky breath. "I'm 56 years old, Jake. I'm your boss. This can't happen. You understand that, right? I know the world says it can't happen. I know there are 100 reasons why it shouldn't. But Diana, I need you to know something. This isn't some crush. This isn't about you being older or forbidden or any of that. It's about you. The person you are. The way you make me feel like I can be more than I thought I could be. The way you see me. Really see me. Jake, I'm not asking you for anything." I interrupted gently. "I just needed you to know. Because I can't keep pretending I don't feel what I feel." The silence stretched between us, heavy with possibility and fear. Then she reached out and took my hand, and that simple touch sent electricity through my entire body. "This could destroy everything," she whispered. "My career, your career, everything we've both worked for. I know, if anyone found out, the gossip alone would be, and the company policies about relationships between supervisors and subordinates. I know." She looked at our joined hands, then back at my face. "Tell me I'm crazy for even considering this." "You're not crazy. And for what it's worth, I think maybe the crazy thing would be walking away from something real just because it's complicated." She laughed then, a soft, slightly broken sound. "When did you get so wise?" "I'm not wise. I'm just honest. And honestly, Diana, I've never felt about anyone the way I feel about you. Age gap be damned. Complications be damned. This is real. Come home with me," she said finally. "Not for, just to talk. I need to figure out if I'm really ready to turn my whole life upside down." We talked until dawn at her place, curled up on her couch with coffee and the kind of raw honesty that only comes when you stop hiding. She told me about her marriage, how it had slowly died over years of growing apart, how she'd spent the last 7 years rebuilding herself and convincing herself that romantic love was behind her, that she'd had her time, raised her kids, and now it was about her career. I told her about feeling lost, about the pressure of being young and supposed to have everything figured out when I felt like I was barely treading water, about wanting something real in a world that felt increasingly superficial, about how she made me feel grounded and alive in ways I'd never experienced. "I'm scared," she admitted as the sun started coming up. "Not of how I feel about you. I'm scared of what this means. The hiding, the judgment we'll face if people find out. I'm scared of hurting you. You're so young, Jake. You should be with someone you can build a traditional life with. Someone your own age who can give you." I stopped her with a kiss. It was soft, gentle, asking permission even as I gave in to what I'd been feeling for months. While I pulled back, she was looking at me with tears in her eyes. "I don't want traditional," I told her. "I want real. I want you. And I know this is an age gap relationship that everyone will have opinions about, but I don't care. You're not too old for me, Diana. You're exactly what I've been looking for without knowing it." That was the beginning. We kept it secret at work, maintaining professional boundaries that no one would question. But outside the office, we built a world that was just ours. Quiet dinners in neighborhoods far from anyone we knew. Weekend getaways to the coast where we could hold hands without looking over our shoulders. Late nights at her place, talking and laughing and discovering each other in ways that went far beyond the physical. She taught me so much about art, about wine, about navigating the complexities of professional life with integrity. But more than that, she taught me what real intimacy looks like. Not just bodies connecting, but souls recognizing each other. She showed me that true love has no age, that genuine connection is about seeing and being seen, not about checking boxes on some societal checklist. And I gave her things too, though it took her a while to accept it. I gave her permission to feel joy again, to be spontaneous, to laugh without measuring every word. I showed her that she was desirable not for what she'd accomplished or how she fit into someone's life plan, but simply for being herself. I loved her without conditions, without expectations, just for exactly who she was. "You make me feel young again," she told me one night, wrapped in my arms. Not in a desperate way, but in the way that comes from pure happiness. Like anything is possible. But secrets are heavy, and living in the shadows took its toll. 8 months in, we had our first real crisis. A colleague made a comment at company happy hour, some joke about Diana being married to her job, and I felt this surge of frustration that I couldn't defend her, couldn't say, "She's not alone. She has me. How long can we keep hiding?" I asked her that night, "How long can we pretend we're just colleagues when I want to shout from the rooftops that I love you?" She was quiet for a long time. "If this comes out, Jake, the consequences could be severe. For both of us, but especially for me. They'll say I took advantage of you, that I abused my position. Never mind that you're a grown man, capable of making your own choices. All they'll see is the power dynamic and the age difference. So we just keep sneaking around forever." "No," she said, and I heard determination in her voice. "No, we don't. I've been thinking about this a lot lately, about what matters and what doesn't, about what I want for the rest of my life. And what do you want?" She took my hands in hers. "I want you. I want a real life with you, not stolen moments and constant fear. I want to be able to hold your hand in public and introduce you as the man I love. I want us to be able to build something together. But your job, I've already put out feelers," she said. "There's a consulting firm that's been trying to recruit me for years. Fully remote, excellent pay, and most importantly, no conflict of interest with you. I'd be leaving the company, which means the power dynamic issue disappears." I stared at her. "You'd leave your job? Diana, you've built your career there for 15 years. And it's time for something new." "Jake, I've spent so much of my life playing it safe, doing what I was supposed to do, following the rules. And where did it get me? Divorced, lonely, convinced I was too old for real love. Then you came along and reminded me what it feels like to be truly alive. I'm not giving that up. I'm not giving you up. Are you sure? Because I don't want you to resent me later if—" She kissed me, silencing my doubts. "I've never been more sure of anything. Yes, we have an age gap. Yes, people will talk. Yes, it's complicated. But you know what else it is? Real. This connection we have, this unexpected desire and genuine love, it's the most real thing I've ever experienced. And I choose it. I choose us." That was a year ago. Diana took the consulting position, and once she was no longer my boss, we stopped hiding. We told our friends, our families, prepared ourselves for judgment and criticism. And yes, some people had opinions. Some couldn't understand how an older woman and a younger man could find real love together. Some made jokes about cougars and boy toys that made my blood boil. But you know what? Most people saw what we saw. They saw two people who genuinely loved each other. They saw the way Diana's whole face lit up when I walked into a room. They saw the way I looked at her, like she was the most precious thing in my world. They saw a real connection, and the age difference became background, noise, to something beautiful. Her kids were skeptical at first, I won't lie. But over time, they came around. They saw that I wasn't taking advantage of their mother, that I wasn't after her money or using her for some twisted reason. They saw that I loved her, period. And eventually, they accepted that their mom deserved happiness, regardless of the package it came in. My parents took it better than I expected. My mom actually said, "I've never seen you this happy, Jake. That's all that matters to us." And she was right. I'd never been this happy. This sure. This complete. Living openly changed everything. We could go to dinner without constantly looking over our shoulders. We could attend events together. We could just be a couple, normal and boring and absolutely perfect. The forbidden love aspect fell away, and what remained was just love. Pure, simple, real. Diana moved into my place 6 months ago. Well, technically we found a new place together, something that was ours, not hers or mine. We're building a life together, and it looks nothing like what I thought my life would look like at 27, and that's exactly what makes it perfect. We still get looks sometimes. I see people doing the math, see their eyebrows raise when we hold hands in public. But I don't care anymore. Let them wonder. Let them judge. They don't know our story. They don't know how she challenges me every day to be better. They don't know how I make her laugh until she cries. They don't know what we share when the lights are low and it's just us, skin to skin and soul to soul. This morning, before I sat down to tell you this story, Diana and I were having coffee on our balcony. She was reading the news on her tablet, her hair still messy from sleep, and I just watched her, marveling at how lucky I am. She looked up and caught me staring. "What?" she asked, smiling that smile that still makes my heart skip. "Just thinking about how much I love you," I told her, "even with my crow's feet and gray roots showing. Especially with those. Every line on your face is a story. Every year you've lived made you into the woman I love. I wouldn't change a single thing about you." She set down her tablet and came to sit in my lap, wrapping her arms around my neck. "I love you, Jake. Thank you for being brave enough to tell me how you felt that night in the cab. Thank you for not letting me push you away out of fear. Thank you for showing me that true love doesn't care about age or expectations or what anyone else thinks." And sitting there, holding the woman I love, I realized something. She was never my mistake. Not even close. She's my greatest love, my best friend, my partner in every sense of the word. The age gap that seemed so significant in the beginning is just a number now. What matters is how we feel when we're together. What matters is the life we're building. What matters is choosing each other every single day. So yes, Diana was 56 and I was 25 when we met. She was my boss, my secret, and everyone thought it was a disaster waiting to happen. But they were wrong. She's not my biggest mistake. She's my greatest adventure. She's not forbidden love that was doomed to fail. She's the real connection I've been searching for all along. And that ring in my pocket, I'm going to give it to her tonight. Because when you find someone who sees you completely, who loves you without conditions, who makes every day better just by being in it, you don't let that go. You don't care what anyone else thinks. You fight for it. You choose it. You build a life around it. Age is just a number. But love, real, genuine, soul-deep love, that's everything. And I'm the luckiest man in the world because I found it with her. So let me ask you something. Have you ever felt a connection so powerful that nothing else mattered? Have you ever loved someone that the world said you shouldn't, but your heart knew was right? Do you believe that age can really stand in the way of true love? Or is it just another obstacle that real connection can overcome? I'd love to hear your story in the comments below. This community is built on the belief that love has no age limit, that genuine connection can happen between anyone brave enough to be vulnerable. So share your experiences, your thoughts, your own stories of unexpected desire and real love. And if this story touched your heart, if it made you believe in the power of age gap romance, please hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. Ring that notification bell because I'm here every single day sharing stories that prove true love has no age. Stories of older women and younger men finding real connection. Stories that celebrate the beauty of following your heart no matter what society says. These are stories of passion, courage, and the kind of love that transcends numbers and expectations. Stories that remind us all that when you find your person, nothing else matters. Not age, not judgment, not fear, just love. So subscribe, join this amazing community of believers in real love. And I'll see you tomorrow with another story that will make your heart soar. Thank you for listening to my story. Thank you for being part of this journey. And remember, the greatest love of your life might be waiting in the most unexpected place. Don't let fear keep you from finding it. Until tomorrow, keep believing in love. The real kind. The kind that changes everything.